Morning, Steve in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, it's Monday. Markets are a little easier overnight. Meal's about the only thing that's up. I think that over the weekend, people were talking a lot about as harvest progresses, if the corn and soybean U.S. yields validate the USDA's September numbers. We'll also be watching the weather. Not a lot of rain forecasted for the eastern Midwest. There will be some rains in the west and in the plains. The plains rains could help planting for next year's winter wheat crop. We did note that last week one of the private people looked at some of the farm credit and crop insurance data and suggested that this year's U.S. soybean acres may be higher than the USDA's number. That could raise the carryout from 475 million bushels to closer to 500 million bushels. So in individual markets, China's still buying beans, but now we're looking at maybe a bigger carryout in the United States, and we'll have to kind of watch also South American weather. It continues to be dry in Brazil and too wet in Argentina. In the corn, we're kind of fighting the fact that export demand is off to a slow start versus all the talk that maybe corn yields will be lower than expected, and the farmer may be a reluctant seller at these prices. And in the wheat, on one hand, there's too much wheat in the world. Stocks are adequate. We did see where the private group estimated the U.S. winter wheat crop from last year a little bit lower than the USDA's numbers, and Australia's dryness and maybe some freeze conditions may lower their crop below the USDA's numbers. Funds basically estimated to have a small position in the beans, still short corn, wheat, and meal, long close to a record amount of soybean oil. Overnight Malaysian palm oil futures were lower because of that position, and that might weigh on the overnight soybean oil prices. Still think we're in a trading range till we find out more about the U.S. crop numbers, and then moving ahead to September 29th report that shows U.S. September 1 stocks, and also the final small grain production here in the United States. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.